Hello and welcome to Once Upon a Galaxy. I'm Rowan. Astrid, I think, is pondering attacking a magpie outside, but she'll have a tough job doing that through a window, won't you? And we do get offered Chicken Bob again. Right, I played this earlier. I played the starter deck as my warm-up game, and I did not guild a single unit. But all right, let's give it a whirl with the candy starter, I guess. We'll see how this one goes. I guess Candy, in theory, is a wee bit better. Animal Parrot here was a good title. I found out the first time I played it that this is basically a rolling permanent effect. So this would give any animal parrot or hero +1/+1 and will increase any buff we get from them by +1/+1. So the Fae is probably the only no-go. Candy Fae is probably decent if we're playing candy stuff. I think I will just pick up the Lollipop Fairy. And we're offered a Raven and a Jealous Stepsisters. These are neither Candy nor Fae. But the Jealous Stepsisters with the support does get us a common treasure on turn 1. We'll pick up a Carving Fork, tragically not buffed up, but we will get ourselves a Lollipop Fairy and a Mysterious Egg. We're offered Jack in the Box and Laser Shark, and I think I'll pick up the Jack in the Box. Though it does look like we will take a half, or no, we'll tie thanks to the Jealous Stepsisters against Icarus 84. I'll pick up the Katamari as it is candy, but tragically we don't get a candy spell to follow it up. In many such cases. Now we do pick up a Fae as well, which is not bad. The Navi is a little bit chunky. I wonder if this applies the buff twice. That's kind of curious. I hadn't thought about that too much. Do I want to grade? Because the shop is not good. Ooh, we got a Gingerbread Witch, which I think I'll just recruit rather than casting the spell. I know it delays things by a turn, but I would rather get some silvers into the pool. Mysterious Egg procs and turns into a Sunflare. We'll replace the Gingerbread Witch for a Sweetness, and then we'll get a Sugar Plum Fairy. Lollipop Fairy, not looking long for this world at this rate, but we will be plenty strong to Full Heart Lucas of Doom. We'll pick up the Cool Whip here. It's just a case of what we are getting rid of, and we do see Sugar Rush. We will Gumdrop on something, probably the Lollipop Fairy. Assuming we ever get a way to generate sweetness, in theory that's might be more likely to stick around than Sunflare. And we do Half Heart Rosen. We'll take the Navi, which procs the Sugar Plum Fairy, and then we kind of get a little bit of nothing, but we do get a spell. We get ourselves +1 candy. We'll throw this one on the Cool Whip, I suppose, and that pretty much ends our turn. We rotate into Icarus, but thankfully we are just chunky enough to half-heart them in the face of that animal board. We'll recruit the Katamari, and then we will 3 wrappers full. We'll pick up the Sweet Wand of Anger, and the Karma Chameleon is tempting, but I think I would rather just Gumdrop with the Sweet Wand of Anger. We rotate into a Faker that very impolitely have a Vampire Chocolat, but we are still capable of tying the fight. Then we do get one of the shops of all time. What do we do with this? I suppose we Ice Cream Party the Katamari, but I would like to actually recruit something serviceable to your board. And we can get a 3/3 Shattered Shield or a Hidden Treasure Room. I'm going to take the Hidden Treasure Room because really we don't have much of a plan going on. But maybe if we find ourselves... Ooh, okay. We're cooking now. We get ourselves a Sigrand. And we will get ourselves a Candy Apple Tree. Now, we are going to take a Full Heart to Lucas of Doom here because their board is not a... pile of 50/50s on turn 10, but It's all part of the exploration. We'll take ourselves a Navi, and we'll take a Lich King's Heart. That'll give us plenty of time to try and pull a plan together. We'll get ourselves a secret map, which gives us a Gloves of Thieving, and our I forgot to pause before the fight started, and we almost got punked out by the Vampire Chocolate. And we do effectively get punked out anyway. We still get full-hearted. But more importantly, Sigrun did proc. Now we find ourselves with a whole bunch of silliness, and I really don't think we're full-hearting either of those players anytime soon. But we do get a Gilded Sigrun, which is pretty nice, and we'll get ourselves a Starstone. Now, how in the heck am I supposed to win this game? I could take the 3 bags full with our hidden treasure room. I think I'm going to do that. The Jasmine's really tempting, but I'm just going to hope that we get something together. To the surprise of presumably no one, we get full-hearted again, but now we have a plan, so hopefully we find that mop again. We'll recruit Puxatawny Phil, just recruit it to the bank, because it's not really the greatest user of Parting Gift. And I suppose we'll recruit the Raven on the off chance we get ourselves another boon. Well, I was about to say the Parting Gift should allow us to rumble pretty well with this Faker, but it does get sniped. We still do manage to half-heart them, and we steal a Jawsbreaker. Pretty decently won. Are any of you happen to be mages? They certainly are not. We'll recruit the Rage Mage, and then we will recruit the Ironcast Dragon. Finally a plan. And I think it's time to get off the... excuse me. The common support, which really I should have got rid of much sooner. But I'm mostly just trying to figure out if this captain's any good. And I'm not quite sure if there really are typal strategies, other than like pirates to a degree, which can really use this all that well. I would like to be wrong, but I don't think I'm sold on it as a captain. At least yet. There's definitely room for this kind of strategy to come together. I do have a Loki Scepter, so maybe we can get lucky with the Merlin, but unfortunately not. And are we into top 2? Not quite. We do still have a turn of Breathing Room against Dazed Pain. We'll get ourselves an extra shop, get ourselves a Bo Peep's Crook, and find ourselves in the top 2. Well, Ice Cream Party, but I really don't know if we're going to have what it takes to defeat our top 2 opponent, unless the Sigrun feels like transforming into a mop, which she kinda doesn't, unfortunately. But we do get another look, and that does proc our boon of Moonsong. Get ourselves a Poison Apple, get ourselves a Silvery Moon, which gives us a Loki Scepter, which is pretty good, and maybe, if we are lucky, these 2 transforms might turn into something kind of spicy, and Candy Zeus is definitely what I would describe as kind of spicy. So we'll just cast the spell and hope the Zeus is enough to carry us over the line against Lucas of Doom. Now, it does seem like a tall order. The Zeus is going to have to do a heck of a lot heavy lifting. But with the Mockingbird to fog and their back row being completely fraudulent, I think this Zeus might be just enough to carry us over the line. A very deserved victory, if I do say so. We spent turns 9 through 14 doing absolutely nothing. But then we got bailed out by a Candy Zeus. This captain is interesting. I'm sure if there are tall typal strategies, things like 12 Mage, 12 Pirate, where you would be incentivized to build your deck in that way. I'm sure this captain can shine there, but I'm not quite sure how good those strategies are right now. Maybe if some nerfs come down the pipeline, like Mages has felt pretty good in testing, in the just towards the end of the last season, I was trying a lot more dedicated mage decks. They felt okay, but very feast or famine. And the biggest issue has always been just getting steamrolls in the mid game. If the mid game becomes less oppressive, if you can really find something that has a stable mid game, has strong mid game, and plays those sort of titles matters, things like those weird beard decks, things like those mage matters decks, like skill singers, maybe this captain will improve in its viability. But right now, I mean, it's correct to put Candy as the starter deck. As much as I am not a fan of Candy strategies, it is basically the only viable tall archetype. I would say Mages is a close second, but Candy, since its inception, has always been 12 Candy cards in your deck. Candy, all the time, Candy. And I feel like that's where Chicken Bob would shine, but I'm not really sure by how much. But time will tell. It's certainly an interesting captain. It's not the most intuitive on first read, but if you want to give it a whirl, that is your Galaxy Pass hero for July. Alright, thanks very much, and catch you next time. Bye.